Hey, this is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. Well, there's only a couple of things that are permanent. One of them is death, the other one is taxes. And when it comes to losing weight, there's really, frankly, no permanent solution. I wish I could say that bariatric surgery was a perfect solution and a permanent one, but it really isn't. When you look at the statistics, you see that most people that have bariatric surgery regain their weight after about 5 years. And many of them, have to have follow-up surgeries in order to, re-lose weight again. And that's not a great way to go through life every 5 years, having to have another big hunk of your stomach cut out just to be able to keep your weight down. Drugs like Wegovy and Ozempic, the GLP-1 inhibitors, are not permanent solutions to most people because they, frankly, most people can't stick with those drugs because of the side effects. And the only possible way to use them, to keep the weight off, is to be stuck taking the medication the rest of your life. And when you look at the weight that most people are losing when it comes to taking the GLP-1s, they're losing almost half the weight in the form of lean tissue, muscle, and bone, which is not a great long-term solution either. So you come off those medications, most people that take them regain the weight, and they've also suffered bone and muscle loss. So not a great solution. What does work? Well, trying to find a way of eating that is sustainable for the long haul, that is also healthy. And that's one of the things I really like about, when I stumbled into low-carb carnivore eating. And that's strangely the biggest knock on it. Very few, most of the people that attack low-carb eating very rarely attack it on its health benefits, but it will often tell you that it's just not sustainable. And frankly, I can't figure that one out because I've been low-carb for over 8 years and carnivore since 2020. So it has, to me, been very sustainable, an easy way of eating. And that's, I think, the beauty and simplicity of it. Particularly carnivore. I mean, you're going to make up the bulk of your calories with beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. And that's sustainable to me. It's also delicious. But, the whole point is to find a real whole foods diet, somewhere in that proper human diet spectrum. And, how much vegetables, how much, stuff that you want when you've eliminated carbs. But, the big thing is just trying to get rid of fake food out of your diet. If it's created in a factory, it does not belong in your body. So that means getting rid of things like the vegetable oils, the ultra-processed sugars, the ultra-processed grains, etc. And if you do that, you're really most of the way there. And, yes, it takes a little bit of discipline to get out of this mindset. But, frankly, I think it is more than sustainable because a lot of people are now doing it for decades. And we're seeing it happen all the time. But, if you think you're going to get by and have some sort of magic wand by getting bariatric surgery or using a GLP-1 inhibitor, frankly, you're not getting to the permanent solution. GLP-1s may be a nice little transition thing for a couple of months to help you get over your addiction to ultra-processed foods, but they're not a long-term solution. And when you look at the increasing list of side effects, that can be a problem. And there's other problems that come with having bariatric surgery. Yes, you will lose a lot of weight rather rapidly, and that is fun and exciting and can help create a whole new life for you. But on the other side of the coin, you have permanently altered your stomach, and that creates other problems down the road. And some people require different supplements for the rest of their lives. There's really just no long-term solution except trying to find the right whole food, real, proper human diet that works for you. I can't give you, any other better advice than that. You got to find something that is sustainable for you. This is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. I try to put out a couple messages each week. Finding that right thing that works for you is just what's going to make your life in the long run all the better. I try to put out a couple messages each week. If you like this message, please hit like and subscribe. Join this channel of other like-minded folks. I will talk to you again soon.